Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Now in this video we're going to be talking about comfort level and how comfort works in Valheim. So to understand comfort, first we got to talk about being rested and what resting means. So if you look in the compendium, you'll have your active effects of what's happening. Now here I have a few here, they're just from other things, for example an item that I got from the trader, just being cold in the weather, and then this is from defeating the first boss, spoiler alert, on the getting the Forsaken power that you get for the boss. But normally, you won't have any active effects if you're just out and about in the wilderness. However, if you are well rested, as in you've stayed in your base for a little while, or you've just woken up, for example, from the sleeping in the bed, you will have a rested buff or a resting buff if you are actually currently in the base. Now me right now, I'm out in the open here, I'm outside of my base, so I have none of that resting or rested buffs. So you see here, because I'm cold right now, I have no campfire around, I've actually got a negative 50% health regeneration and a negative 25% health generation. So I'm at a disadvantage right now. I've got a debuff going on. Now what I could do here is I could simply place a fire. I placed a fire in the place, and now you would see I have the fire buff, which means I'm warm from cozy fire, so it kind of negates the cold effect. But then I've also now got the resting buff. It says I'm currently resting, health and stamina regeneration is significantly higher. So now my health regeneration, if you remember the cold regeneration was giving us a debuff for that, now I've got a plus 200% and a plus 300% stamina regeneration. Now you can see while I'm resting in my base, my rested buff is that I get now an extra 50% health regeneration and 100% stamina regeneration on top of the fact that I am currently resting with a 200% and 300%. So really, I have 250% health regeneration and 400% stamina regeneration if I'm currently at home resting in the house. If I were to step away, for example, you see I no longer have the resting, because I'm not resting. I'm not actually inside my house, so I'm not resting. I'm feeling cold because I'm not near the fire anymore. However, I still have the rested buff because I was resting earlier, so now I'm well rested. So you can see the buff lasts for me for 10 minutes. And how long the rested buff lasts will depend all on comfort level. So if I were to go into this little 3x3 shack, you can see I have a comfort level of 3. And you have a comfort level of 3 because it's the combination of the fire and being in a sheltered cabin or any kind of shelter. For example, if I were to take this fire, and let's say we built the fire right here, just in the open. I could sit next to the fire and I would get a comfort level of 1 because the fire itself gives you 1 comfort. Now, if I were to move the fire indoors, I would get up to 3 comfort. Now, I don't know how you actually get 2 comfort. I was trying different ways, and not often could I actually get to just 2. It would jump mostly from 1 to 3. But if anybody knows how you get just 2 comfort, or what causes just 2 comfort, do let me know. Now, how do you increase your comfort level? Well, there's many ways of doing that, and primarily is by building all kinds of furniture. Now, I here have unlocked this many types of furniture, but when you first start off, the first thing you could build is a bed. Now, as you see, as I've selected a bed, before I even place it down, it's showing me that my comfort level will go up to 4 if I do place this bed down. And right now, actually, the comfort level is up to 4. So you see, before I even put the bed down, you'll notice the rested timer has gone from 10 to 11, meaning that if we go from a comfort level of 3 to 4, it increases to 11 minutes. Which is really good because you want your rested buff to last as long as possible because it gives you this health regeneration and stamina regeneration buff for as long as possible. Now, the next things you want to think about is seating arrangements. And the reason I say that is because the stool, the chair, the bench, these items here, they all give different levels of comfort. However, they will cause problems when they overlap over each other. So what I mean by that is you cannot have 2 the same in the same spot. So here's what I mean. A stool gives you 1 extra comfort. So you can see my comfort level there is 5. So you see now that I've placed the stool down, it's added another comfort level. So I've got up to comfort 5. Because between the fire and the shelter, I've got 3. The bed is a 4th. And then the chair, the stool is a 5th level, if you will. Now I could then build a regular chair. However, you'll notice it stays at 5. Because the stool is already there, this chair adds no comfort to it. So there's no point stacking different types of furniture or even many types of furniture because it won't go any further than that. Now, if right off the bat I never even built the stool and I straight up built the chair, you'll notice our comfort goes to 6. And that's because these chairs, they give more comfort level than stools do. They give 2 more comfort on top of whatever comfort you have. So we're at 4, and with the chair we get 6. Now the next option after that is a bench. Now a bench only gives you 1 comfort, similar to the stool. So we could put the bench down, and you see it goes from 4 to 5. I could put the bench down and then also a stool down, since they both give 1. However, as you'll see, because they're all technically furniture that you sit on, they don't stack on each other. You'll have to make a choice. If you really want to increase your comfort level, you've kind of got to decide which one you want. If you want to maximize your comfort level, that is. Now, we're back down to 4 again. If I were to put the Raven Throne down though, the Raven Throne gives a comfort level of 7. So we went from 4 to 7, which tells us the Raven Throne gives us a comfort of +3, like 3 levels up. Now that I've built the throne, you'll notice if I build a stool, chair, or bench, they do actually in fact stacked with the throne, but they don't stack amongst each other. So when the throne down, and I could put a stool down, remember stool adds 1 more, you'll see now my comfort level in this little house with pretty much nothing around it except for the main items, comfort level's at 8. Now, since we have the throne and the stool down, like I said before, you won't be able to put down a chair and stack it even further, because the chair, the stool, and the bench don't stack on each other. But if instead of the stool, I decide to use the chair, which gives me 2 more, you'll see now I have a comfort level of 9, and my rested buff goes up to 16. So you can really stack your comfort levels here, allowing you to maximize and make the use of the rested buff for just that little bit longer, that extra minute. And who knows, that minute might save your life. Now, a great way to increase your comfort just a little bit more is by using a deer rug, which are quite easy to get. All you need is deer hide. As you can see here, if I were just to place it down, we were at 9 before, and now we'll go up to 10. And so you see now my rested buff is at 17 minutes, as opposed to the standard 10 minutes you would get from just having a level 3 comfort level. And slowly, as you unlock more items, you'll be able to increase the comfort in your home further and further and further, so that you can increase the timer of your rested buff and enjoy that buff for just that little bit longer. Hope that makes sense, guys. You see here, my tiny little shack. My guy is very comfortable with 10 comfort level, so you really don't need a massive house to be really comfortable. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. My name's Schmitty, and I'll see you guys next time.